A relationship is any connection between two people. It can be positive and negative. It can be casual, it can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be abusive. There are 6 major types of relationships that really mess or change people's lives forever. Now, somebody asked me, are there more than 6? Well, there probably are, but the 6 I want to mention are the ones I mostly see in my clientele. Depending on what kind of therapist you are, you would probably get other kinds, maybe more of the negative ones, but these are the main ones that I work with. And I think just going over them is a good idea because so many people are confused. And at least I'm seeing that. When people come in, I'll say, how do you define your relationship? They have no idea. The first of these relationships is platonic. Platonic is close, it's a fondness, it's care, it's support, it's honest. It's basically a relationship. It involves close, intimate bond without sex or romance. It's what we see many times in good friends. Platonic relationships are healing. They're especially healing in the historical aspect of them because many times these relationships last forever and the two people involved in them go through so many things. There may be some romantic ideation on one of the partner's part, but usually not. They don't go there, and they don't go there because they don't want to ruin the pureness of the bond they have platonically. The second is romantic. The romantic is the intimate sexual one usually. It can be also romantic if it's intimate and emotional. But this is the one where they basically are lovers. They're close physically, they're close emotionally, and their relationship brings them great romantic just fantasies, and they feel good about it, and they feel like they're in love. Most of the stable relationships with people courting and eventually getting married begin in this kind of a relationship. The codependent relationship. The codependent relationship is one that has a more negative connotation because it's unbalanced. It's a dysfunctional type of a relationship in which a partner has an emotional, physical, or mental reliance on the other person. And you can pick them up very quickly because the characteristics of a codependent relationship, one acts as a giver while the other acts as the giver or the taker. One acts at great lengths to avoid conflict with the other person. So there's always one who's giving. They don't want to get into conflict with their partner. Feeling like you have to ask permission to do things. Having to save or rescue the other person from their own actions. And I think that's an important point because that really is what destroys most of these relationships. Going through doing things to make somebody happy, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You should sacrifice things, but not if it makes you uncomfortable. Feeling like you don't know who you are in the relationship and elevating the other person, even if they've done something not to earn your goodwill or admiration. So in other words, you elevate another person, you may put them on a pedestal, even though their actions are not in line with that at all. That would be the person that was so codependent on the other one. Then there's the casual relationship. The casual relationship, you can look at it as positive or negative. For me, it would be negative because it includes recreational sex. And I think a lot of people get hurt in this. Things are misconstrued. Communication is poor. And so what might just seem like a booty call or, friend with benefit to one person, the other person can have ideas that this is going somewhere, that this is going to turn into something bigger, and they stay stuck in these relationships. Casual relationships are good if you have good boundaries and you know exactly what you want from that person, but most people in a casual relationship do not define it on the get-go, and therefore they end up in it. And then it's the idea of, are we going to get out of this? Are we going to stay in it? Is this going to be, are you my forever person? And it gets very messy. And hence I see a lot of them in therapy. Open relationships. Open relationships are, I'm close with you, I'm intimate with you, I'm close to others, I'm intimate with others. There are very few boundaries. It's open borders. Okay, this one I find very negative, but we see a lot of them now because people aren't as identifying as quickly what they want, what they are, what they feel like they will become. And so what they do is they form with one person and they go, actually, I'm not jealous at all. You can go see whoever you want. I'm not necessarily sure it's a jealousy thing. I think within themselves, they're still exploring, they're still not self-aware, and that's why an open relationship appeals to them. The last of these is the toxic relationship. The toxic relationship is when you get yourself in a situation where you're with someone who is basically abusing you, manipulating you, controlling you, and you're caught in before you realize what's happening. In the beginning, you tell yourself they just love me so much, or they're possessive because they don't trust me, they think I'm so hot, they think I could get other people, they're insecure. Yeah, whatever that is, it's usually talk. And it's usually their way to hook you into a manipulative situation. I think the idea behind all of these is to get clear about what you want and then talk to your partner about what you want, what you have, and then go from there. And I do have some ideas about that. So defining your relationship, I'm just going to give you some easy tips for doing that. Do you have romantic feelings for your partner? Okay, that's the first one. What does each person hope to get out of the relationship? How much time do you want to spend together? Where do you see your relationship going? Are you currently involved with or want to be involved with people, other people? Listen, guys, I know it's uncomfortable when you're first dating someone and you're like, God, I can't take out this list because they'll think I'm weird or I'm trying too hard. You know, it's time to step up and advocate for yourself. You most certainly can take a list like this out, and you can make it so you're not reading a list, but you're just asking these questions. Why? Because advocating for yourself means you have self-respect. When you have self-respect, you have an intention with dating. You know what you want. You're willing to respect another person, but you also want respect in return. Once you have that established and you have that mindset, asking them these defining questions is quite easy. It's going to save you a couple sessions of therapy. By all means, go to therapy if you're confused, but know what you're going in for. Because when someone comes in and says our relationship isn't going well, what I have to do is I have to help them define it first. You can do that first step at home.